Hi, and welcome to episode number 8 of Pixpro Labs live show. I am Sarah Watz, and I'm the CEO of Pixpro Labs and also the host of this show. Our mission at Pixpro Labs is to help Joomla businesses grow. And one of those ways of making that happen for me is to host this weekly live show. I am inviting people running Joomla businesses globally, and we're talking about business, we're talking about life, and of course, we talk about Joomla. Please help us share the show with your friends. You can share it while we're live, or you can share the replay. And since this is a live show, I love to get to ask your questions to my guests. It's so super easy. Type in your question into the comments, one question at a time, please. And then it's easy for me to feature the question on the screen and ask your questions to my guests. And while you're at it, please give us some feedback with a voice so we know what resonates with you. Okay, so with no further ado, let me introduce this episode's special guest. Let's bring her on. Today, my special guest is, I'm just going to make sure that she can speak as well. Our special guest is Alison Meeks from AM Graphix. Thank you so much, Alison, for joining me at this episode of the show.
Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning. I know it's morning for you, and here in Sweden, Stockholm, where we are airing from my end, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So thank you for getting up of bed early enough to have this conversation with me. Let's start by having a conversation. Yeah, me too. So let's start our conversation with you introducing yourself and telling us who you are, where you're from, and what you do.
My name's Alison Meeks, and my company is AM Graphix with an X. I live in Niagara Falls in Canada, and born in Canada as well, but a different area. And as far as Joomla goes, I'm on the social media team, the JET team, and the Joomla World Conference team. So keeping busy with Joomla as well, and as well the Facebook group.
Yeah, we can see you all over, and that's why I'm so happy to see you here as well. That actually brings in one of my first questions to the show that came from Dom. He has a special question for you, and let's bring that on. Wait a minute, and let's showcase this one. He has a question. How can you run your business and at the same time be so visible in the Joomla Facebook group? I could never do it.
Conference stuff. So yeah, I work a lot of late nights.
A lot of late nights, I guess. Yeah, I can tell by your date stamps as well. When I wake up in the morning, you might sometimes even be up.
That's quite often. That's when I usually talk to Hans, because he's in the Netherlands, of course, and so that's when we have a chit chat.
That's
like 3 o'clock in the morning here.
And it's also sometimes it's you have a global like assignment for Joomla, and we are global, and sometimes it's hard to get your time zone right, to have the possibility to talk and collaborate with others.
I typically am up during the day, and then I have a snooze late afternoon, early evening, and then come back and do her again. So that's a split shift, I guess I call that.
Yeah. So that's actually a response to then Dom's comment that he understands that you're working off hours that he can never do.
Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit too. Yay, internet.
Well, let's try to see if we can get some better connection divided from us from Facebook and see how that goes. Okay, so what do you do in your business? Let's talk a little bit more about how do you like, when did you start your business? In what way did you get to like feel like I wanted to start my business, and so forth? So my question was, if you, it seems like we are not connecting. I'm speaking and you are not listening. I don't get your response.
I can hear you. I understood what question you were asking anyway, so hopefully my feed comes through. I started my business back in the late 90s, but I was working full time at the time, so I was just doing it on the side. And in 2014, I went full time on my own, and have been doing it since. Prior to that, I was the assistant to the director of marketing at Unilock, which is an paving stone company here in Canada. And I did all kinds of different things for them. I did print, I did magazine stuff, I did web stuff for them. And I thought that small businesses don't have the resources to have somebody full time to do all of these things, nor the expertise to do them either. So that's what I offer to my clients, is to be able to manage their websites for them while they focus on their own business, because they don't need to be spending time learning how to run a website. That's not their business. So I've been doing it ever since then.
And you don't just do the website, you help them with social media and graphics and a lot of other things.
Yeah. If they need print or posters or business cards, because I come from a print background, so I learned that before I learned my web stuff. So I've got both sides of it, and set up their social media for them. Some I manage for them, some they manage themselves. But yeah, it's a lot of different things. But it keeps the variety interesting, so that's nice too.
Yeah. How do you find new clients?
I couldn't hear you on that one, Sarah.
How do you find new clients?
I am really, really blessed, because, I mean, sometimes I get them through my website, but most often it's referrals. And you can't get a better lead than somebody that they trust already that has referred them.
Yeah.
And told them, they're doing a good job for me. That doesn't get any better than that.
And then it's easy for you to sell, because you don't have to sell. You can only offer how you can advise and help them.
Yeah. The most recent one was a fellow who said to my client, you're always up the top on Google. How do you do that? And when I looked at his site stats, it had a very nice site. It looked beautiful. But there was not a search term site.
Oh, really?
Like zero. So no wonder nobody could find him.
Yeah. So it's good then that these small companies can come to you and get not just the specific niche service, but you can help them with getting found, having a good website where their clients can come, and you can help them with social media as well to gain more traffic as well. So it seems like you have a really good offer to your clients. How do you price your services?
Website stuff, I price by the job. It's funny because, as we all know, they come and they say, "How much do you charge for a website?"
Yeah.
And it's like, do you want the used car price, or do you want the Lamborghini price? So by the time we get all that sorted out and we do some discovery of what they want and their particular goals, then I have a better idea of what I'm going to have to build for them. And so.
Do you offer retainers for support?
I'm moving towards that because collections is really time consuming and it's really low energy stuff as well, I find. So I'm moving more towards a retainer model because then it's like they don't have to be trying to rush a check through or a payment if they're busy, and I can take care of their needs and not have to worry about playing the collections game.
Yeah, it's a win-win for both.
And of course, you know, some clients are quicker than others. It is. It really is.
So when it comes to your lead generation, you talked about a lot of people coming from referrals, but you do a lot of social media for yourself and you are getting your name out there. So there is a lot of people knowing about you, I think, in the market space because of that. Do you feel like you are getting those leads as well?
Well, it's funny because I'm really comfortable promoting clients and not so much myself. But that's pretty much the way I am. It's like I've got no problem talking up a client or Joomla or whatever I'm working on, but unless somebody specifically asks me, I don't spend a bunch of time pushing my wares on them. People know what I do, and they want me, they know where to find me. I'm around.
Yeah. So how did you think of the idea of having these extra services, not just the website, but also the other parts of your business, like the graphics that you came from in the beginning as an art director and print? Do you feel like it's complementing the services, or do you feel like you are not focused enough on a certain thing?
Oh no, it's definitely a bonus because if I get quite often I'll get a new company, somebody that wants to, they're just starting, or maybe it's their first website. They've been running just on their own before that, and they want to up their game. So I'm able to help them with, you know, getting their, if they already have a logo, then I can style everything around their logo. If they don't, we can work on getting them a logo and a color palette set up and basic styling to go along with their web, with their social, with any print they require. I had one fellow who, when he first came to me initially, he asked for a quote and I gave it to him. And he said, "Oh, no, that's way too much money." And away he went. And about 18 months later, he came back to me and he said, "I'm really sorry. I had my sister build me a website, but it didn't do anything." And I said, "Well, is that her business?" "Well, no. She just built me a website." And I said, "Well, how would anybody find it if she didn't know to put any kind of search terms in it or, you know, get your traffic set up, right?" And it ended up, we worked on his branding and got a really splashy logo set up. He did lawn care, so he wanted the green, and he had this blue truck. So he used those colors. And he ended up doing this graphic down the sides of his truck, and it just looked amazing. But so it was really, really fun to work with him that way.
And I also think that, Yeah, and I think that's totally correct, that the website is not an isolated island in the communication and sales. It's a part of it. It's a central part of it, but it's not the only part. So like you say, the truck logo or the truck design was paying some attention to the brand. So they can go in, and when they search and they found his logo, they recognized it, and he got better results in the search terms as well.
Yeah, and he was in a very niche market in Toronto. And so when his truck was parked on site, it wasn't just some guy mowing a lawn. People going by could see who it was and how to reach him. So that was really good for people in the neighborhood to know who was servicing and doing the lawn and snow care for these various other homes in their neighborhood.
So when it comes to newsletters and copywriting, do you do that as well for your clients?
I don't have any doing newsletters, and copywriting. I've been told my style is really casual, which is good in some ways because it's friendly and approachable, but not necessarily the best if you're doing really serious business stuff, right?
Yeah.
So
would that be something that you would like to
quite
add?
often, if I need copywriting, the couple of times that clients have requested it, I've worked with people I've known, which is what I do. I don't have a staff. I subcontract because there's so many wonderful specialists within the community, and friends and whatnot that you can hire as needed and for the specific job with the skill set that you need. Because not everybody's a jack of all trades, right?
And I think that that's a good thing, that we do have this massive community where there is so many good professionals, that we don't have to be the jack of all trades, that we can reach out to our network and gather people that are really good for that niche or for that market space or for that tool that we need them to use.
Exactly. Because I'm not a programmer any day of the week. I get around Joomla really well and know how to maintain it and edit templates and things like that. If I want something really complicated, I turn to my network. Troy Hall is usually my first on deck for helping me out with my little technical glitches and making this do the thing that I want to do, even if he doesn't think it's possible. But yeah, so there's just lots of really great people with all kinds of skills that I don't have, that I'm able to hire for different jobs. And it just keeps the ecosystem going, right?
It does. And I think that is one of the perks with actually giving back to Joomla by contributing and volunteering, that you meet so many good friends and co-workers or partners within the community while you are in different working groups or in different teams. So you said that you were working alone and did not have a team. How do you, I know that you found people through Joomla, but do you have any other source of like a local network or business network that you are joining to gather like local people that you would like to work with as well?
and it was through the Jug, the Joomla user group in Toronto, that I met Alan Langford and some of the other fun characters that are in that group, and then he turned me on to the rest of the community, and the rest, they say, is history.
But that's how we all start. I think that we are getting a connection through the forums or at a Jug meeting or somewhere else that gives us that spark of interest that we feel like we want to be a bigger part of this than just being a user.
Exactly. Well, and I thought that, speaking of fire trucks,
yeah,
I thought it was bound to happen. I thought initially that, how can I possibly give back to the community? I don't code. I'm not a programmer. How can I give back? And, obviously it's very clear I've got, everybody's got skills that they can offer the community.
Yeah.
Some people have the gift of multiple languages. My second one is sarcasm, so maybe not so great on that. But, if you've got that gift, then share that with us.
And I also think that that's one of the ways that you can grow your business is to find these partners that can help you leverage and service more clients. And they don't have to be local, but they can be local and they can also be global. When it comes to like your work with your clients, is there any particular systems or communication tools that you use to help your clients to understand where you are at in the project and keep track of your time for your project?
Props to them. They have a great online system. Other tools I use are Glip and Slack, of course. I tried Trello for a while, but so those are my main tools. As far as managing my sites go, my Joomla and I are tight.
Yeah, it's really helpful to have a tool like my Joomla or any of the other dashboard tools that can help you with the security and
Absolutely.
upgrades.
And I don't know why I waited as long as I did. I truly don't. I dragged my feet on that because it was a monthly cost, and I could kick myself in the head for waiting because it's such a helpful thing when you're managing many sites. They're audited, they're packed up. You can see when there's updates to be done. It's like, oh, go away. Yeah, it's great.
It's busy where you are. A lot of.
Yeah, I live on quite a busy street, and the fire hall's just a couple of doors up from me.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's great for your insurance because you're very close.
Yeah.
But inevitably, if I'm on a call, they're running down the street.
Well, that's okay for us. So when it comes to like your business, was it hard for you to start a business? Did you struggle in the beginning, or did you feel like, oh, everybody came to me and it was super happy from the beginning?
Well, I was.
So what has been your best learned from this, that you really think that this was something, an insight I got from running my business that I really would like to share to someone else who's going to start their business? What would be like the one thing that you would like to have known before you started your business?
Don't race for the bottom in price.
Yeah.
It's a never-ending hole. There's always going to be somebody cheaper than you. Know how much time it's going to take you, and what it's going to cost you to do it. Explain to them why it takes this amount of time, the value that you're bringing to them. And if they want to go and get a $500 website done, or their sister to build them one on Wix or something, they can, and then maybe you'll see them a couple years later wishing that they hadn't wasted all that time growing their business.
But it's not meant for you to give them.
Don't price race for the bottom.
I think that's a really smart advice.
There's always somebody who's going to do it cheaper, but do they have the same skill set that you acquired? I mean, because that doesn't happen overnight. Some clients I've had have thought, okay, well, I can hire her for a few hours and learn the things. You can't learn experience in a couple hours.
That's very true. And I think that the people that would like to have a website built cheap, they just think about the website itself, not what it actually is serving you with. More, they're thinking about it's like technology, that it's bits and pieces. They don't think about the experience you have with grasping whatever soul their company has, conveying that into a digital format as a website, and also make sure that that website is catering for their business. And that's not what a teenager does in the cellar, doing it for kind of nothing. They can make a very nice looking website, but it might not be the website that conveys their business.
You cracked out on me there, but yeah, no, absolutely. I remember a girlfriend of mine was also very excited that a printer friend of hers was doing her business cards for her. And we went and met the guy and picked them up, and she excitedly handed me her card, only to see that it didn't have her name on it.
Oh, really?
It had her business name and phone number, but her own name was not there. So if anybody was calling, it's like, who do they ask for? But she didn't bother to have anybody else proof it, and apparently neither one of them thought that it was required information on a business card.
Wow.
Of all things. With the experience comes the knowledge of what needs to be there.
So what is the future for you? Do you feel like you are happy and satisfied in your business, or would you like to have more in your business of some kind?
I don't want to get into an agency type situation where I've got staff I'm managing. A couple really good clients that are actively working on building their site, building their brand, their company recognition. That's great. And, I do have room for a couple more. And I mean, as life changes for people, maybe they're not doing their company anymore. And so they move on, and it makes room for somebody else. But I would prefer to keep it small and a really good selection of clients to work with, rather than trying to make something big where I've got payroll to meet and that kind of stress. That's not my game.
Yeah, but that's the thing, that we can create our own life and our own business, and we don't have to do what everybody else does. We should do what actually fulfills ourselves.
Yeah. Well, and it allows me time to manage, to be able to give back to the community. Because if we don't give back, Joomla is open source. It's run by us. And it's important that people chip back in so that we have the best product to work with that we can.
Yeah, and I usually say that it's like, if I had my own program and my own platform, I would put in a lot of hours to make sure that that platform was as good as possible the next week to my clients to build upon, to deliver something good. Now we don't have to do that, because that would take thousands of hours each month to do. We can do it together instead. So we can pitch in a couple of hours each week each, and then it's going to be even better than if we did it ourselves.
Absolutely. Clients don't realize with, whether it be Joomla or WordPress or Drupal, how many thousands of hours of programming and the CMSs take to create and update and keep current, and how much that same technology would have cost them had they had custom programming done for their site to do it.
Yeah. I think that there would be a lot of people. Oh, please continue.
They're complaining about several $1,000s, but the programming that they got for their site, even if it's fairly basic, would have run up into $100,000 easily. Prior to open source CMSs. So.
And also web hosting is much cheaper because we have open source. If we didn't have open source, a lot of businesses that are hosting our sites would not exist. So since open source, that it has also the price of hosting has gone down. Yeah.
And having a really good host is so important. I see people on the Facebook group, like daily almost, having absolute horror shows with one host or another, and it's having a good quality host that understands and has their hosting set up to run Joomla smoothly is really, really important, and your speed, because if you don't have your site moving fast, then Google only offers you so many seconds to search your site when it's ranking you, and then they move on.
And I also think that having a good host for you as a Joomla developer or Joomla site builder, it's super crucial, because you look good into your clients. But if the client says, I cannot change my hosting because of something, you cannot do your best work, because like you say, it will be too slow, or it would take too long time for you to make the upgrades or backups or something else.
To monitor these things is crucial, is really crucial. And even if you have somebody doing your daily updates, make sure you have somebody managing.
And as you say, sign up with a good host. It means the world for you as a business owner, as for your site builder as well.
Yeah.
Do you have any special extensions to Joomla that you have as your go-to tools that you always install in a Joomla website?
Oh, wow. Absolutely. Every site, like the first thing that goes in is Akiba Pro, admin tools, JCE, and I'm having to change my form maker, unfortunately, because of some issues with it, but typically that as well. Otherwise, I try to stay really close to the core. Like, those are management type tools, but I really try to stay as close to the core as I can, because that, and of course, Cache Cleaner. Oh God, Peter. God bless Peter for Cache Cleaner. But yeah, those are tools that are just help make things go along. But if you can keep your site as close to core as possible, your updates are going to go smoother.
Okay. Yeah.
You're not going to have to worry so bad, right?
Yeah, it makes it more smoother and not too expensive for the clients or time consuming as well. And I think that also a lot of extensions that we previously have been kind of forced to install because Joomla didn't have that functionality. Now Joomla has even more functionality that a lot of our extensions that was kind of must-haves don't have to be installed anymore.
That's right. That's right. I know that Media Manager is making humongous strides, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the guys have up their sleeve with that, because it's if we don't have to have yet another extension, then sorry about JCE, but. Keeping it close to core.
Yeah, so Neil is saying exactly the same thing in the comments. Absolutely, keep third-party extensions to a minimum. And I think that's a lifesaver for a lot of people. I think a lot of people add too many extensions and then they don't keep them updated and then the site is not secure anymore. Or they forgot which one of the 3 email extension they installed and tried out are they going to use. And they forget, and then they are in a mess of using several instead of having a playground, trying it out, deciding what to do, and then install only those things that really are needed.
Exactly. And, when you're choosing your third-party extensions, make sure that you're using quality extension builders that have been around and have a
So when it comes to the way you have told us a little bit about, or a lot about your way of to contribute to Joomla and volunteer, how would be the best situation for someone who hasn't been starting volunteering for Joomla yet to start volunteering in your mind? What would be the first step to take?
If they have the gift of 2 languages, for sure I'd send them to JDocs and Crowdin to help with translation. JDocs, even if they don't have a second language, they can proofread, they can help improve our documentation, and they can do it on their own time. They're not hooked into having to be there every day or every 2 days. If they've got an hour, they can spend an hour. With Crowdin, it's great because we're constantly needing help with, maybe our help screens or our landing pages, because we have, various updates going on all the time. And maybe they can only translate just a couple of lines, but that's a couple headers that are done now in a different language. We have over 35 different languages now, and that, and there's lots that are needed as well, but it really helps with keeping the world connected. Joomla being like the top CMS for multilingual sites.
Yeah, it's always been that way. And keeping it that way is crucial, because that's one of the major reasons why a lot of people chose Joomla to start with. When it comes to...
On the end, yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was just saying that being multilingual is crucial for Joomla to keep on being multilingual, because a lot of people chose Joomla way back because of the Joomla being one of the first one who supported so many languages.
Absolutely.
So, sorry, I interrupted you.
Oh, no, not at all. There's so many languages. Heck, we even need Klingon. But actually, there is a Klingon language pack for Joomla. So if anybody's got that extra language, that's great.
So that's needed. Good call.
Finnish, Irish. Croatian, Hebrew, Swedish, Sarah, Bengali. There's so many languages that we still need help on to get things up to date and offer them out to different communities.
So Stefan Gagner, who is the Swedish translator. Yeah, in Sweden, Stefan Gagner is one of our translators for the main language files to Joomla. He's been doing this for years, and many more before him. He's trying to get more and more from Sweden to help out with the marketing materials and the documentation and things, because he's so focused on doing the language files, which is awesome that he does. I don't know how he keeps up with it, because it's every single time when we have a new launch, it's like the language package is already done and completed. So yeah, big shout out to Stefan. It's like a really
amazing.
Good.
It is. It brings everybody together. And even though I'm always on everybody's butts in the Facebook group about it being an international English speaking group, there are so many help forums all over Facebook and other places that are language specific. So the help is available.
It is. And as you said, being a volunteer for the first time, stepping into the world of Joomla volunteering, is not getting in to be a team member to start with, but actually contributing your time and just have a look and feel of helping out and how that works, gives you a flexibility to start with. And then you can figure out, where do I want to more commit to volunteerism?
Yeah, because if you have printing or any kind of skill sets, we need you for something. Yeah. So get a hold of a volunteer and find out, or go to the volunteers portal on joomla.org and see what's needed. There's always groups, different teams looking for help.
So we are getting into the closing of our conversation. It's been interesting with a lot of fallbacks in sound, and we sometimes have been having a delay, and your fire trucks came as we thought they would. So to end this, if they want to know more about you, even if you are everywhere, can you please state where is the best way of communicating with you? Through what channel would be best?
You can catch me on Twitter, AM Graphix, my Facebook page, my website, of course. I think you have all that in the links. LinkedIn is another place that I'm in. G+, I'm on there quite often as well.
Okay,
you can
so
find me under Alison Meeks over there. So yeah,
a lot of places. Okay, yeah. So
and of course in the Facebook group.
Of course. I would say this, I would love you to come back to this episode in the comments and read the questions that the viewers has when they look at the replay, and respond to those questions as well. It's been great having you as my guest, special guest on this episode of the Pixpro LIVE Show. So thank you so much for sharing what goes on in your part of the world, in your business.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
So I will see this. So here you got it, right? Thank you. You too.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining the show. Bye. Okay, so let's end this episode by saying that if you have looked at this episode and enjoyed the show, please share it with your friends. And if you'd like to see the previous episodes or get notification about the upcoming live shows that we do, click on the link in the description of this broadcast. Thank you so much for watching this episode of the Pixpro LIVE Show, and see you next time. Bye for now.